We're going to move
my
on
God.
from full busting to Nippon Sangoku, episode 5. And it starts where it reviews the coup from last episode and then cuts to Osaka and a dude running up the Tsutenkaku and its secret officer Haranishi Shinzo needing to talk to Ryumon. Ryumon reports to the Emperor and Denki and says that there was a coup in Sei and a campaign against Yamato is gaining momentum. The Emperor's like, oh shit, we could get invaded. But Ryumon says he will go to Fukui, which borders Sei, and make preparations in anticipation for the Sei invasion. He's like, Emperor, permission to deploy. And the Emperor's like, fuck yeah, let's go. But Denki stands up and is like, nope, Uno reverse. Peace sign. Yo, Emp, FYI, you aren't approving this deployment. Denki grabs the report and is basically like, this is bullshit. They aren't going to invade, and they're shit compared to us. And then Denki starts grilling the Emperor and why Ryumon is asking to be deployed and why it took so long for his secret agent to come back. But then someone rolls up and is like, the Grand Archivist has a report. And then in rolls Taira Tonotsugu, who is Denki's 7-year-old son.
I'd kick that fucking baby. I don't give a shit.
It's not his fault.
No, I don't care.
It's okay. And he's like...
Greg.
Yeah.
He's developing baby Hitler.
Again, it's not the kid's fault. So you shouldn't be kicking the baby. You should be kicking the guy that's creating the baby Hitler. But then if you kicked him, then he'd probably have someone behead you in 30 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
It makes me mad because I hate the Tyras so much, and that's the whole point, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then Tonotsugu is like, Mutan Nago, who is one of the anti-surrender captains, says he wants to defect to Yamato. And Denki is like, sick, good news. And Tonotsugu peace signs and said Nago didn't support the coup and fled and got flogged and stuff. And is like, we should send people over there right away. But Ryumon interrupts and says that this is obviously a ruse and cites number 34 of the 36 stratagems, self-injury stratagem.
Why did they pick 34? Because Rule 34 is already something really important on the internet. I don't know, but I don't want to go look up the rules of 4chan because, like, at this point, maybe we don't.
So you're saying you want me to do it? Is that what's going on?
No, please, Greg, don't. Please don't. Please just go live your life.
But the self-injury stratagem, which is exploiting the human tendency to trust those who are wounded. And Sei tried the same thing on Yamato 12 years ago, and Kaku saw through the deception before they were able to execute. And the commander-in-chief at the time was Wajima, and the current commander-in-chief is also Wajima, and Ryumon asks the Emperor to use his judgment. But Tonotsugu is like, this guy is fucking bald. Don't trust him. And my info is good, so choose wisely. And Denki is like, oh, by the way, the Taira clan are your only allies. And the Emperor bends and is like, Tonotsugu, send 30,000 soldiers to Kaga, and Ryumon, lead 5,000 soldiers and support the Tairas. And Ryumon is like, what the fuck? And then the Emperor is like, gotta go. Ryumon deep grovels, and he's like, dude, 100% this is fake, man. We're gonna lose. But the Emperor just walks away, and the Tairas are like, Ryumon, you fucking old dude, get fucked. And then they flip him off, and then peace sign. Ryumon leaves, and Kaku is waiting outside, and Ryumon asks what he thinks. And he says this is a perfect chance for Sei to strike Yamato, and it's a perfect time for Taira to use you to gain control. And Kaku is like, you thinking what I'm thinking? And Ryumon is like, yeah, aim for the bushes.
For the bushes. Fuck!
And they decide to have a Borderland general meeting at noon tomorrow. And the narrator says 10 days remain until Sei's Western expedition.
Brother, these vocal stems, man, that you've developed into my fucking brain, I swear to God, I can't. I fucking can't, man.
What are you talking about? Those were all just regular, normal words that weren't referencing anything else.
Yeah.
It's now
Anyways.
year 60 of Yamato. Spring, 14 degrees Celsius. In Dotonbori, and Tsune and Aoteru are having lunch. And Aoteru is like, dude, this is fucking obviously a Sei ruse. It's noon now, and the general meeting has started, and they are planning to meet Nago in Kanazawa which still has a lot of Japan-era buildings and is perfect for laying an ambush, since the Teidori River will be at our backs, and if Nagao's surrender is a lie, then the army will get wiped out. Aoteru says that the Teidori River is one of Japan's fastest flowing rivers, and with the snow melting, it could be flooded, and if they're ambushed, there's a 90% probability they'll all get wiped out. Ryumon is like, okay guys, good meeting. Hold down the fort. Me and Kaku are leaving. And Tsune is like, what the fuck? And Aoteru remembers Kaku was the one who planned the Buo Nagashino raid that predicted the Buo's army position and took them down with 20 men. And they say that Kaku never fails. So why are they sharing this report with us if we're going to be staying behind? And if we remember, the whole Buo Nagashino thing is when they solid snaked up and shot the dude in the face.
Yes, they shot many dudes in the face. Like 7 total dudes got shot in the face.
Well, technically, I think only 6 total dudes because they had revolvers and he only had 6 bullets.
Yeah, but he's solid snake, so he like fucking, when he popped the side of the gun and the bullets like flew in the air, and then those casings hit another dude and went through his skull.
Oh, I thought like he just did a gainer and was able to line up all of the heads at once and just kill 5 with like 1 bullet.
That'd be so sick, dude.
But Chief Clerk Moriyama Kinta.
Real quick. Sorry. Last night, you could delete this later. Last night, I had a hour and 15 minute long coughing fit where I had my whole throat felt like it was on fire. And so I took like hell ibuprofen and fucking anti-flu medication and shit. I don't know what the fuck happened. Maybe I'm just fucking hantavirus COVID maxing over here and it's over for me, but.
Or maybe like there was like an almond shell that flew into your throat and you're allergic to peanuts or almonds.
I gargled so much salt water. I know you smiled, Greg, when I said gargled.
I was going to make a full bust reference. But
Yeah. I knew where it was going because we share that those 2 brain cells, they clack together to make this show. Anyways, you can leave this in now.
Yeah, I think
it's become fucking hilarious. Go ahead, Greg.
But Chief Clerk Moriyama Kinta is like, Ryumon, I have an idea. We should just join Sei because their commander is fucking hot and all we have is the Tyras and a useless emperor, and this is the only way. And a few of the other dudes agree. Kaku laughs in their faces and he's like, dude, you're fucking brainwashed. What is so great about Wajima? And Moriyama is like, she gave out porridge to the people in need. And Kaku is like, dude, that rice that was fed to them was from their taxes, which fucked them. So it makes sense to give the money back to the people. And Wajima didn't tell the people and acted as if she gave them the porridge herself, you fucking idiot. And then she pushed reforms after that and then pushed the people to go to war. Kaku explains how she's just a dictator and not a ruler, and then grabs the picture of Wajima out of his pocket, and he's like, no, my jerk-off material. And Kaku is behind the picture like, oh, Moriyama, you're just my type, you old-ass man, you fucking moron.
I wanted you to go, oh no, my spank bank, you found it.
I was pretty close.
Yeah, you were really good. Again, those 2 brain cells that we have together just clacking.
Yeah, you and I, the things we say about Wistoria, I'm glad that you're a part of it and you helped me think of that wild stuff that only us 2
that's different. That's a different.
Is it?
You're on your own with that shit, dude. Like, talking about Rosty's hog all the time.
What, and Finn's one night stand with the Mage Queen? And
yeah, poor Mercedes, man. Well, have you seen what Mercedes looks like?
No.
She casts domain expansion full bust on everybody.
Oh, damn. I mean, I think Wajima did the same thing to Yamato. Kaku is like, if you don't understand that we aren't doing this for the Tyras and that we're doing it for a better tomorrow, then you're an idiot. And Ryumon is like, Aoteru, what is this dude's offense under military law? And Aoteru is like, Moriyama incited disloyalty among the ranks, so 3 years of exile is reasonable. And this is Moriyama's fault, so those that sided with him should be pardoned. Ryumon is like, sick, I'll do just that. And they exile Moriyama and then is like, we're going to war, people. Any more talk like that will be punished under military law. Ryumon and the other soldiers are off to war. And Aoteru is like, Tsune, we got a role to play. But I don't know what it is. But there's a reason why we had that meeting. And the other two generals went with Denki's son as the advanced party. And the exiling of Moriyama, they're sending 200 soldiers to exile him, which seems like a lot, but can be seen as them preventing his escape and leaking info to Sei. But what if his exile was orchestrated by Ryumon to get extra soldiers and serve some kind of purpose? So right now they're all playing like 9D chess, like 3D upside down, like doing backflips and shit, and like trying to predict what everyone is going to do and how they're like outsmarting the enemy and outsmarting the Tyras all at the same time.
Yeah.
So the Borderland Corps basically has literally the hardest position possible because they have to fight the enemy, but then they also have to fight internally.
I mean, they're literally planning a military coup against what is currently the superpower of the Yamatos, which is the Tyras, and then fighting a two-front war on both sides of them.
It's like a coup, but it's a hidden coup, so you don't know it's a coup. So then when they coup them, it doesn't look like that they had a hostile takeover, like say.
Right.
Again,
Greg.
Chess.
7D chess.
Yeah.
7 double D chess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. 69D chess.
That's what
domain expansion full boss.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. You're onto it.
Tsune is like, dude, that's impossible. They would have to predict all of that shit. And Aoteru is like, that's fucking nuts. But maybe, ... But then Kaku rolls up and gets off of his horse and is like, dude, tadpoles to frogs. Not what I mean, boys. Lay on some firewood and persuade the heavens. That's the key to victory. Deuces, and then leaves. The Ryumon is like, you must think highly of Aoteru if you're giving him parting advice. And Kaku is like, well, he's either gifted or a prodigy, and I'm betting on the latter. And then the narrator says that year 60 of Yamato, spring, Aoteru is 18, and the course of the world is set in motion. And that's the end of episode 5.
I quite enjoy Nippon Sangoku because I like a good thriller. I like we're trying to all figure it out together, and it gives me good brain flex. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like their pacing, really, because
things are happening fast.
They're like ebbing and flowing. Episode 1's pretty crazy because that's, basically where Aoteru as a military genius is born because Denki kills his wife. And then you kind of have like a lull where they explain a bunch of shit and he's in Osaka, and then you're learning about new characters and the powers that be. And then, you kind of move up where it's like, okay, here we go. We have the Toad Ryumon, like cut fucking Ryumon's legs off. And then you have the lull where it's like, okay, they're all generals and we're going through this like 9D chess strategy of what's going on. And then next episode is going to come back up, and then you're going to kind of see how these predictions and everything plays out. So I think the pacing of the show is, while may not be for everybody, I don't think that you can negatively rate it, even though if it's not your style, because I think it's very effective either way.
I agree. It's just a fun experience all around.
And this is one anime I would say that if I were to not have an anime show and if I watched this, I would make the recommendation that this would be a good anime to like binge watch.
Oh, 100%.
I know we've talked about this at some point in the show where like I want to do some experiment of, does your opinion of a show change based on if you can binge watch the entire series or if you are watching it like week to week? Mm-hmm. And I had the example of, for me anyway, personally, like Attack on Titan, Death Note, animes I was watching week to week, but because they had like so many episodes and there was so much just political intrigue and like mind battling, especially in Death Note, where you had Light Yagami, where he was just like, how do I outsmart everyone and get them to write their name on this book so I can kill them for just because I'm bent on power and I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And Attack on Titan 2, where it didn't necessarily appear like that to begin with, but then once you get farther along in the series, like it just uncovers all of this shit, and then they kind of have to, I'm not going to say shoehorn, but they present a lot of information of what is going on may not necessarily be what meets the eye. And, I guess having to like wait week to week and then not being able to get any closer to the conclusion, to me was very hard. And probably it was even harder because both of those series, the first seasons, went longer than 12 episodes. So now I'm like literally waiting like months, and not even months, years almost, to like actually get like a very good push forward in the story. And I feel like if I watched those animes in one sitting and was just binge watching, and I'm like, okay, political intrigue, cool, like I'm interested, next, and then I see a payoff, I would be more inclined to enjoy it. But then if it's like, wait 1 week, political intrigue, wait another week, political intrigue, wait another week, strategy, political intrigue, wait another week, same shit, wait another week, oh, okay, we finally fucking did something, like sick.
Agree. It almost feels like, to me, shows like this would be like almost on the level of like a Law and Order spinoff. You know what I mean? Like, because the overarching storyline of this battle is a great setting. They probably have a lot of cool characters, like, and you could look at from every single perspective and see the drama that happens over these, 5 to 25 years of whatever this war. Like, we could go from the Sei perspective and have like Law and Order SVU Sei edition, and then we have Law and Order Yamato Canon Ryumon edition, and watch him grow up. And like that to me shows the sign of like a good show. This is cool. I would watch a lot of different perspectives on this show. Watch Kaku just do dope shit, you know what I mean? So I'm enjoying it quite a bit.